The school grounds are a place for studying, not for playing around. At least, that's what I wanted to believe. My name is Takuma Sakurazaka, and in the 4 years since I started at middle school, I've learned that this was nothing more than lip service. I can't focus again today. All I could hear was the sounds of my classmates echoing through our break time. I know we're on lunch break, but I wish these kids would spare a thought for how annoying they're being to the people around them. This is so annoying. At least I feel better knowing that my studiousness will at least get me a better chance of succeeding than they'll ever have. Although, I'm not exactly getting much work done at the moment either.
So then I was like, yo, that's crazy.
And a big part of that was one particular source of noise rising above the rest. Yeah, it was this girl that clearly paid way more attention to how she looked than anything the teachers had to say. Her beauty was as plain as day for the world to see. But it was such a shame that she didn't even once consider her future. That would be Yuri Mikage. She was unquestionably the most popular person in our grade. She's basically the polar opposite of a quiet kid like me. Anyways, I'd better get back to reading.
Hey!
As soon as I turned my gaze back on my book, a shrill voice rang out right in front of me. What would anyone want to do with a nobody like me? I didn't know, but when I looked up... Whoa.
What are you looking at, creep?
A wild popular girl appeared. What do you want? I had no idea why someone like her would even bother to acknowledge my existence. Sorry, but I was never involved with her. I had no intention to start now.
Nothing, just that I think the teacher was calling for you.
Oh, really? I guess I misjudged her a bit. Thanks for letting me know. Maybe she was noisy, but I guess she wasn't all that bad. It had been a month since I got shuffled into this class, and I felt like I was starting to get everyone's general vibe. I didn't want to keep the teacher waiting, so I made to leave. So, why are you following me?
I'm not. The teacher called me too.
Oops. Why would the teacher want to see a beacon of popularity like her at the same time as me? I hope she didn't do anything serious.
Dude, what's a loser like you doing walking alongside Yuri?
I'm so jealous. Why can't I be the one to go off alone with her?
I should kill you for this.
Yeah, it's definitely her fault. I could feel the glare of boys behind me piercing through the back of my skull.
Hey, so you're always wearing that mask, right?
The girl walking next to me seemed to be completely oblivious to the faces of everyone around her. Well, it's not that uncommon these days.
Are you sure about that? Maybe you should take a look around you.
I didn't see what she thought was so funny.
Oh, I get it. You're embarrassed because your face is so ugly, Takuma.
You want me to make yours ugly too? Where's a pair of brass knuckles when you need them?
No disrespect or anything. I'm just wondering what other reason there would be.
I hope whatever she did, they make her apologize, not just to me, but to the whole school.
See, a pretty girl like me wearing a mask would just be a waste, right?
A devious smile crossed her face. I mean, I couldn't deny that. Maybe if you weren't so gaudy.
Gaudy? How am I gaudy?
Even the way she asked that question seemed gaudy. I don't know, you just are.
Hey, I asked you a question.
Whatever, let's just go already.
What, you think you're better than me or something? 'Cause, you're not, loser.
Did she think I was just gonna sit here and take this? And anyway, I made my way to the teacher's office, so I didn't have to be with her for any longer than necessary. I could tell that the other teachers were staring too. Maybe they weren't used to seeing predator and prey in such close proximity. Do the two of you want to see your report cards early? If that was just his opening, then I was afraid for what was coming next.
I do.
So do I. There was no way I could turn back now. Although, of course, I wasn't about to debase myself for them or anything like that. I was sure of it. But that's strange. I wouldn't expect a gaudy girl like you to be so concerned about her grades that she would do whatever a teacher asked for them. Excuse me, I'm right here.
And would you stop calling me gaudy? I have a name, you know.
Wait, what was I saying? Anyway, I'd like you to help volunteer this weekend. The teacher handed us a flyer. A local preschool was taking volunteers for help. But why me? I just figured you'd probably have free time and nothing better to do. There's a pair of brass knuckles when you need them. And Yuri, you mentioned that you wanted to be a preschool teacher in the future, right? I think this will be a good experience for you.
Well, I guess that's true.
Aren't teachers supposed to treat all their students equally? Great, sounds like it's decided then. Good luck with this weekend. Somehow I felt like he wasn't gonna take a no for an answer, no matter what I said. That's how I ended up having to work together with someone who's at the opposite end of the social ladder as me.
Why do I have to be stuck with such a loser?
After that, the two of us quickly decided to have a meeting about our plan of action for the weekend. The position would be a full day of field placement at the preschool. I guess they were low on staff and needed a few extra hands. You don't gotta put it like that, you know.
Would you rather I called you ugly instead?
That wasn't quite the apology I was hoping for. And you're basing that on what exactly? I'll show you ugly. I'll pull my mask down right now and show you how attractive I am.
Quit your grumbling and let's just get this over with already.
Grumbling?
Besides, you don't set off my hot gaydar at all.
Maybe it's just broken.
Not a chance.
She's not that confident, huh?
It's bad enough that there's no one that hot even going to this school in the first place.
I knew it. You only care about looks anyway.
Yeah, so what? Newsflash, all women are like that. If you don't have money, looks, and fame, then what's even the point?
I wish she'd shut up before she ruined my opinion of all girls in general.
Besides, if there was a hot guy like that, I'd make sure they knew they were mine by kissing them before they had a chance to do anything else.
I guess it would be hard to find an opponent that could resist a knockout blow like that, but I couldn't say that her motives were anything but impure. Just how tasteless could she get?
Now quit wasting my time and let's decide on what we're gonna do.
Why do you care either way? Let's just throw some candy and cartoons at them and call it a day.
Are you freaking kidding me right now? I am actually gonna slap you.
Why? Somehow we figured out what to do, and soon it was the first day of volunteer field practice. It was my first time actually being out with another girl my age. My first time going out with a girl, and it has to be you.
I'd almost laugh if it wasn't so pathetic.
Like I expected, she was wearing an outfit that would make anyone's eyes pop out of their sockets at a club. No one would ever guess that she was out on her way to help teach at a preschool. I think you're confused. We're not going to a bar, you know.
What's that supposed to mean?
The truth was, I was never that good around kids myself. Loud and annoying people piss me off in general, and kids are the epitome of that.
Come on, be a horsey. Get on all fours. Be a deer.
But most of all, I hate little brats who think that they can boss people around.
Now be a donkey.
And that's not even the worst thing about this.
Thank you so much for all your help. The kids look like they're having a lot of fun. It's no trouble at all. Playing with kids is like the best thing ever.
The worst part is that I have to sit and watch an airhead like that get praised. Why do I have to be in the same room as her to begin with?
Oh my, you mentioned that you wanted to be a preschool teacher in the future, right? Yep.
I guess the teacher did have a point. If it really was her dream job, then this would definitely be a resume builder. And if she wanted to see if this was really a good fit for her, or figure out some ideas for what the job was really like, then there was no better way to see for herself.
Hey, isn't it hard to breathe with that mask on all the time? I already took mine off and everyone else did too. Are you ugly underneath it or something?
See, this is exactly why I don't want to be here. It's not like I wanted to get laughed at by these demonic little freaks.
What are you guys playing over here?
Oh, thank goodness. Gotti finally decided to make her way over. Maybe now I can finally get some relief.
Takuma isn't taking off his mask. Yeah, he's probably ugly, that's why.
Hey, don't say that. Just because he's worried about how his face would get a failing grade doesn't mean you can be rude about it.
That was even more rude.
Why don't you just, take it off already? We all know the full story anyway. Unless you want to prove you're as hot as you say you are, I mean.
She put on a teasing smile and was talking in a condescending tone. Ugh, you're back on that again.
Well, I haven't seen it myself. Truth be told, I'm actually kind of curious.
Now I kinda just want to see it pull up tighter so that she doesn't get the satisfaction. But on the other hand, if I do take it off, maybe it'll shut these brats up for 5 seconds. Fine. Satisfied? I reluctantly peeled off the mask. When I did, Gotti instantly covered her mouth and pointed, but didn't make a sound. She was stunned, speechless. I guess I really was that ugly, huh? Why do I care so much about what she thinks anyway?
Wow, you're so handsome. I was wrong about you. Good for you.
Well, at least the kids are happy. I didn't think that they would have such a positive reaction. But wait, good for me? What was that supposed to mean?
Well. I guess you really are kinda hot.
At this point, she finally removed her hand from her mouth and was just staring at me with an expression I could only describe as ravenous. A chill ran down my spine.
So, yeah, Good luck with the rest of the field placement and stuff.
Thanks. I wasn't sure why I felt so much dread at that moment, but I continued on with the rest of my job. Finally, another day ended without any further incident, although deep down I knew this was just the beginning, and the vicious cycle would continue next week. Of course, I wanted to see my report card early, but I felt like I was getting an early glimpse into the life of a corporate slave. How do people do this every day? I was so drained I could barely even focus on anything, although I can't complain about getting complimented by a bunch of kids and a cute girl.
Sup, loser?
And speaking of which… Oh, hey Gotti.
Is that just what you're gonna call me forever now?
It was apt to title, as always. What do you want this time? Surely you have better things to do than to spend your time with a loser like me.
Don't worry, I won't take up too much of your time. I just want a kiss.
Talk about shallow. What are you saying?
Like, I don't see what's so hard to understand about it.
Are you listening to yourself? Am I the only one here with the head on straight? Someone please agree with me!
If you keep shouting like that, the whole class is gonna hear you.
I know I'm in the right here, but for some reason I just feel like I lost here. I wasn't sure why, but I felt anger boiling deep inside.
What's the problem? It's just one kiss. It's not the end of the… Oh, now I see. You've never actually kissed anyone before, have you?
You got a death wish or something? Stop looking at me with those pitiful eyes. Sorry, but it's not happening. I'm not gonna fall for any of your dirty little tricks. I'm not gonna lie though, it was pretty cute, and I might not ever get a chance to kiss a hot girl again in my life. Wait, what's all this even about? Did you lose a bet or something?
Maybe I did. What would you say then?
A seductive smile stretched across her face. I couldn't deny that it was making my heart skip a beat a little. She's definitely up to something. At the time, I couldn't figure out what it was. All I could do was sink down into my chair as all the gazes in the room turned towards us. It was lunch break, and I was enjoying myself in my favorite spot on the roof. Nobody else comes up here to bother me today. It was a bit windy, so maybe they were all just nervous their lunches would blow away or something. Either way, I was thankful for the lack of company. Phew, what a day. After Gotti started talking to me, I couldn't enjoy a moment of peace without some guy or another glaring at me. Well, I guess that's just bound to happen when the most popular girl in school decides to strike up a convo with someone who's on the bottommost rung of the social ladders. Up until now, I guess I've had a pretty narrow view of the world, huh?
Hey, there you are.
As I was enjoying my rare time alone, I heard a familiar, shrill voice. Oh, it's you.
What's that supposed to mean, huh? You don't want to see me or something?
I couldn't exactly say that was true.
Jeez, I was looking for you and everything. How do you think I feel being treated so coldly?
Well, how was I supposed to know that? Besides, I never asked her to look for me in the first place. What, you expect me to be grateful or something? What do you even want?
Huh? I thought you might want to enjoy eating lunch together.
I honestly wouldn't. I'm already finished. Can't you just leave already?
Fine, I see how it is. Whatever. Here. Use this to rinse out your mouth.
And why was she offering me mouthwash in the first place? I didn't like where this was going. If it'll get her to leave me alone, then fine.
Here, now chew on these.
Breath mints. I guess it was important to take care of your hygiene after eating.
All right, don't keep me waiting anymore. Let's go.
Wait, hold up! She suddenly threw herself at me, and when I raised my face up to guard myself, they landed on her smooth and graceful face.
What? Don't act like you don't want this, too.
Anyone in my position would be a little freaked out, wouldn't you say?
I told you before, didn't I? When I find a hot guy, I make sure they know they're mine.
I do recall her mentioning something like that in passing.
I never would have expected a loser like you to actually be so hot.
Was she trying to praise me or make fun of me? I was getting mixed signals here. I can't just kiss someone that easily.
Maybe you'll be hesitant at first, but once you try it, you'll be falling head over heels for me.
It was getting harder and harder to say no. Don't think so highly of yourself. I mean, I'm not really that hot in the first place. Wait.
You don't really believe that, do you?
Okay, I guess I'm kinda good looking.
That's for me to decide, wouldn't you say?
What did you want me to say? I barely know how to interact with people. But why are you so determined to do this with me in the first place? Even assuming that I am handsome, what do you see in an uncharismatic weirdo like me?
Maybe you're kind of a weirdo, sure.
Her expression became stern and serious.
But you're hot, and I like that.
I guess I admire your ability to say what you think, although there's such thing as being too honest.
So? If you really don't want this, I'll stop. But you'll never get a chance like this again, so don't say anything you're gonna regret.
She wasn't wrong. But girls certainly weren't tripping over each other to throw themselves at my feet or anything, especially with my personality. But I want my first kiss to be with the person I love.
Kids today still say that kind of thing?
What was that supposed to mean? We're the same age! Somehow I managed to survive until the weekend, and it was time for the second field placement out of our multi-week volunteer period.
Play with me! Prepare yourself. Accept your fate.
Where did these brats even learn phrases like that, Fire Emblem? I'm already tired.
Don't just sit there feeling sorry for yourself. Do your job.
Easy for her to say when she's only got the quiet little girls to deal with. I'd like to see how she would handle things in my position. But still, I couldn't help but keep on casting glances in her direction. She really is serious about this, huh? I thought she'd be bored out of her mind doing a job like this, but she was really into it. I guess this really was her passion, huh? But I couldn't just get over how different she was acting from her usual self. For one thing, I didn't even know she had the ability to speak in an inside voice.
Yeah? What is it?
Why do you even want to be a preschool teacher anyway?
I have a lot of siblings. I really like taking care of the younger ones, and if I gotta work anyway, I'd rather spend my time doing something I enjoy, you know?
Sure. That surprisingly makes a lot of sense. It was a pretty respectable explanation, all things considered. If she was that determined, I couldn't help but want to cheer her on.
Bet you didn't expect that, huh?
Honestly, no. I would have thought that you would want to end up as some kind of an ad executive or a personal secretary where you could make those big bucks and blow all your money on cheap thrills.
That would be nice. I guess I do have a few reservations about the salary teachers make. But that's no problem. After all, I'll always have my amazing husband there to rely on.
Why are you clinging to me when you say that?
No reason.
I have to admit your tenacity, at least. I guess choosing a partner based on looks is no worse than any other reason. And I do kinda like people who are honest with themselves. It leaves more of a favorable impression than someone who only cares about their looks, but then tries to delude themselves with the illusion that they like anything deeper.
Hey, maybe you don't like me like that, and that's okay. We can still be friends though, right?
She suddenly blindsided me with a statement that was surprisingly pure. I never expected you to say something like that.
Well, like, you're always alone and stuff. I feel sorry for you. We're in high school, right? We should be, like, totally living it up and stuff.
I mean, I guess I can understand that. I do want to do that stuff, but look at me. It's not like that'll ever happen.
How do you know when you haven't even tried? Besides, I'll be right behind you to help you out.
She flashed a captivating smile. But why would she go that far for my sake? Somehow, I think I knew the reason. Thanks.
Don't mention it. I have my own ulterior motives, too.
Of course she does. But still, I really couldn't hate her. My impression of her at this point couldn't be any more different than when we first interacted. The first piece of advice she gave me was to try going to school without covering my face, so I decided to bite the bullet and try it. I feel so naked. It was always there, so maybe I was just starting to rely on it too much. Why does it feel like I'm doing something so shameful? But I guess I could see how wearing a mask can put an extra distance between me and other people. It's not that big of a deal, I just need to be strong. I plucked up my courage and I made my way into the classroom. And then, when I did… Hey, who's that?
Whoa, he's kinda hot.
He's like straight out of my fantasies.
I couldn't make out clearly what they were all talking about, but I had the feeling they were all chattering about me. Are they making fun of me for how ugly I was? I started to let it get to my head, just 'cause Gotti gave me a compliment or two. But I couldn't hide from the truth. I knew deep down I was as ugly gets. She probably just was being nice to me out of pity. I brought an extra mask just in case. I should probably…
Morning. Why the long face? Chin up, okay? Classes haven't even started yet.
Just when I was starting to put my mask on for safety, Gotti suddenly showed up behind me, and she was being all awfully touchy-feely, and in the way that only she could get away with. I took off my mask like you suggested, but everyone is just calling me ugly anyway.
I'm sure that's not true. You're just imagining the worst. Hey, Yuri, is this a friend of yours?
No way, they didn't even recognize me?
Huh? What do you mean? This is Takuma, you know? Seriously, he's Takuma? Yep, the same creepy loser you all know and hate.
Okay, where's the pair of brass knuckles when you need them?
That's incredible. I couldn't even recognize you without your mask on.
Why didn't you say anything about how good-looking you were?
Yeah, you should have shown your faces ages ago.
I didn't know if it was actually because I took off my mask or Gotti's jokes, but a group of students were actually talking to me. Even yesterday, I never thought that something like that would actually happen to me at all.
See, it was easy once you took the plunge, right?
She turned to me and quietly whispered so that nobody else could hear, and I responded, "Yeah, I guess it was. Thanks again." I couldn't help but smile.
Okay, and I know the best way you can thank me too. Kiss me right here and now.
Okay, man, what is wrong with you? She was way too close and I had no idea what to do. How could she do something like this in public, let alone in front of all of our classmates? She is weirder than I thought.
If you kiss me right now, there won't be anywhere else to run.
I had no idea what to do. Just her getting close to me in the first place was gonna give people the wrong idea. So this was your plan all along, huh? I couldn't hold it against her, though. I didn't know why, but I just couldn't help but keep on smiling.